Let me know when we're good.
Okay, you should be good to go.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to Natural Nerds, where a bunch of us best friends who live all around the country get together 3, sometimes 4 times a week to play Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. For now, I will. Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention. Super excited about this. We have some awesome things in the merch shop now. We have a really cool fanny pack that has our banner on it, as well as a backpack that has Constitution, Tired of Dying, on it, as well as our logo and a little hidden spot, which you won't see until you purchase it. Yeah. So those are some fun things. We will be doing a giveaway on the 30th if we reach our goal of 50 followers, which we're at 49 now, so seems likely. When we do reach that goal, again, we will be having a special session with the DMs versus players. It will be 2 versus 7, all level 20. It'll be really exciting. And we will be running a giveaway during that stream. So if you want to be part of the giveaway and possibly win one of our t-shirts with our logo on it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us, and tune in to that session on the 30th at around 7:30, 8 p.m., sometimes 8 because we start a little late. Because everybody's really bad at staying on time. Hello, Wolfie Games. Welcome to Natural Nerds. So I'm going to pass over the announcements to our other DM.
Okay, well, she took care of the merch announcements, so we are really excited about that. Let's see, we had the PvP special session when we hit our 50 followers. We have the giveaway. Oh, right. So another thing, when we hit 50 followers, anyone that wishes to do so from the first 50 that follow can submit NPC, villain, monster ideas, things like that, that they would like to see in a specific campaign. And at least I'll speak for myself, but I'll happily throw them into most likely the next Ravnica Part 2 campaign. Otherwise, unless somebody has a specific campaign they would like to see something in. But yeah, special little giveaway for the first 50. One moment, please. Oh, also, during the PvP, you can place bets on who is going to go down first with our Nerd Bucks. And to obtain Nerd Bucks, I believe you just have to watch for 20 minutes, or you can follow, and you'll accrue them, and you can spend them on several different things. As we just posted in the chat itself, you can see the list of things that you can purchase. One of our favorite things is to get Miguel to beatbox while he does Resident Evil. Speaking of Resident Evil and Miguel, they believe it's time for scheduling.
All right, what's up, you nerds? So today is a little off. Usually we'd be streaming our Icewind Dale yesterday, but because of conflicted work schedules, we flopped the day. But it should go back to normal time next week. And with that, tomorrow is Pokemon Showdown with our lovely Doc and our lovely Milo. Who do you think is going to beat who? Yada, yada, yada. That'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Following Wednesday will be the continuation of our one-shot that has turned into a two-shot of Doc's Madhouse at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I believe we are free for a couple of days. And then we go back to Saturday for our Curse of Strahd, where you will see all of us be terrified of Strahd. at this one runs a little later. It'll probably be around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern, and then following that Sunday, we should be back to our normal time at Icewind Dale on Sundays from 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Monday, back to me on Resident Evil, episode 4, where, yeah, I'll probably scream like a little bitch again at 5:30 Pacific p.m. Sorry, and 8:30 Eastern. Yeah, back to you.
Thanks, Miguel. All right, and we currently are using Discord. You can find our Discord here. I will post it in the chat right now. We are using a live stage, so if you want to listen live to us on Discord, you can find us there. And also where you can submit different things, like what you'd like to see, if you want to ask questions or anything, or just chit-chat. We got a nice little community building up, so yeah, it'd be nice to see you there. We are currently running a poll for if we kill or keep Jerry for our Tuesday campaigns. We do every other Tuesday, so not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. So you can vote in the chat. Explanation point, vote, space, kill, or keep, your choice. I personally say we kill him, but...
Keep.
Okay, and at that, if everybody could please roll me a straight D20. And I will go down the line once I find my notebook. Okay. Soren?
That's a natural 7.
7, okay. Sakura?
Mine would be a 9.
9, okay. Dante?
That would be a 4.
A 4. Okay, Vlayan?
I also got a 4.
A 4. And Laughter?
14.
14. Okay, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. Laughter, you're doing a recap.
But.
Yeah. Try to keep y'all on your toes. This week it'll be the highest, maybe next week it'll be the middle.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z. The party, after tracking down some individuals, tracked them into a cave of these Yeti creatures after a carefully laid plan by one of us. The man, formerly known as Frigid, went up and punched an infant to death. After chaos ensued, and Starwood got his second kill, I must say I'm so proud, we encountered another Yeti, bigger, stronger, seeming to be the male. I wished to waylay him with a darkness spell. That did not waylay him at all, as we sliced him to bits. Afterwards, saving one of the party, people that we tried to track in the first place, she told us about another one, a tiefling, lost in the snow. Our party is currently tracking them. That is all.
Okay, thank you, Laughter. And where we left off, the exact moment we left off it last night. Let's see. I did share that with you, right? The blue boots?
Yes, dear.
Yes, I did. Alright, that's gonna take way too long to find, but you stumbled upon the tiefling that you were searching for. frozen in a feeling of isolation and complete loss of hope. You saw the hope drain from her eyes as she froze to death there, staring at these blue boots at the top of the mountain at a ruined camp. And when this does happen, Sakura, you are currently with the halfling, correct? You've been walking with her? Paralu? She immediately, when she sees her best friend Astrid frozen to death, she looks at her and you see her face just drops, and she immediately burrows her face into your wolf cloak that you're currently wearing. She comes up to a little below, halfway up your body, and she burrows her face in and starts crying.
I'll start rubbing small circles on her back, and I'm so sorry.
Never should have happened. She was the best of us. It's just not fair.
All things happen for a reason, even if we don't quite understand it now.
Yeah. If I could go back to town with you.
Of course. And I will give her some flowers off my staff and give them to her, and maybe as a final gesture, we could put some flowers around her if you'd like.
And she takes her face out of your cloak, and you just see these tears. They're streaming down her face, and as they get to around her cheekbones, they freeze and start to fall to the ground as icy droplets of tears. And she wipes her nose.
I'm gonna look back at
flower
Soren, and as she takes them, I'm gonna look back at Soren and say, "Can you do what you did back there?"
You mean in case
Preserve them?
Of course. And I'll go over to first the tiefling. Unfreeze her. And then move her body, lay her out, resting peacefully. Sakura, can I have a flower, please?
Of course.
Laughter's already beside.
Paralu is gonna walk up with the flowers that Sakura gave her, and she's going to kneel down next to you, and she's going to gently lay one in Astrid's hands.
Excellent. And without thought, as one hand goes onto her hands as I fold them over, where so she's still holding the flower but over her heart. As I start freezing with one hand, I hold my other hand out to laughter.
Clink, clink.
And on the eyes as we preserve her.
Okay.
You know what this is over here? I'm gonna kind of look over at the boots.
Paralu is gonna shake her head, and at this point, Garrett's gonna walk up, and he's going to examine the boots. He's going to gently pull the body out of underneath of the snow, and you see the body of a dwarf whose head is currently missing. Looks like it was torn off the same way as the rest. You could probably make out that it's one of the heads that you saw in the Yeti den, added as a trophy. And Garrett's gonna look down at him and examine him a little bit. This looks like Barthum. Hammerholm. He, had mentioned he was coming up here, but figured he could make the trek by himself. I haven't seen him since, so it's safe to assume.
Any reason why he would come up to such places?
I can't say myself. He just seemed very adamant about doing it. Why, I don't know.
DM, can I take a perception check of this area?
Yep, you absolutely can.
That's a 12.
A 12? Okay.
Yes.
You don't see anything that could really indicate danger. It is starting to get later in the day, and you are starting to see the lights forming in the sky once more, the dancing green and pink bleeding into each other and dancing as they...
I'm really just trying to
across
get
the
a
sky.
general layout of this area, because I'm thinking there's a reason this dwarf came up here. I want to know why.
DM, I would like to make, if it's okay, make an Arcana check on the boots.
Okay.
So with this.
Real quick though, let's finish this. Laughter. You can't make out too much of why he might have been here specifically. But you are able to see, on his persons, you see a miner's pick and a couple other things in his pockets, and you also see Asterix, she has a book on her persons as well, for encased in the ice. But besides that, you can't make out too much of why he might have come here. Thinking back, you did hear this group, Mokingo and Paralu and Asterix, they were coming to see Oyamentar talk. So hard to pronounce. So you could possibly presume he might have been coming up for the same reason. Maybe.
Oyamentar. I'm going to look at the group. Remind me who that is again.
It's the person that they said they were going to try to meet to stop the curse, if I remember correctly.
Should we pick up where they left off, or should we keep going home? Wherever that may be.
I think we need to get our friends here back home safely, or if Garrett can make the trek with us, and we can continue forward.
Very difficult to hear, Dante. You sound very muffled.
I was just going to say that.
Can you hear me now? Hello, hello?
Yes, much better.
Yep. Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. I feel like we need to get our new friend here home, or we can just send them down the mountain with Garrett, and we can continue forward. But I would like them to have safe passage as well, so I'm not sure.
Look back at Garrett, and he's like, still got a bit of a limp and tears in his arms. Damaged leg.
Why not set it
I
down?
really want to take her back.
I agree. I mean, we came here and they both need to get back to be able to rest and whatnot. I don't think it'd be safe to just send just them alone through the tundra.
Laughter is going to take everybody's persons. Look back at Garrett. Pack has spoken. We go back down.
What was it that you wanted to do, Soren?
I was gonna make if okay, I'd make an Arcana check on the boots, the blue boots.
Alrighty.
And also, Laughter, did you mention that you saw the book at Asterix?
Strix person.
Asterix. Yeah, I can think of the pronunciation.
An X.
Honestly, if he would tell anyone, he would tell you, Peace. The boy.
Okay.
Installed.
Perfect. So then, that being said, I'd like to, as I'm doing the Arcana check, no, without looking, just kind of open my hand around the book so we can pull it out, and then so it would melt the ice around it, and then refreeze it when we can retrieve it.
Okay, are you doing the Arcana check prior to the ice, prior to pulling it out, or after?
Well, so I would just be melting from a distance as I'm like checking, because I don't really need to look for that or be next to it. So somebody else would retrieve it, and then afterwards, after everything's done, then I'll go refreeze.
Okay, so you're doing the Arcana check as you're melting the ice?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, give me an Arcana check.
Nice, nice. How's a 4 work for you?
Wow, those are some nice boots.
Usually I don't disrespect the dead, but these are some pretty nice boots.
Do you need a little help there?
Oh my god, this is... Doesn't... Everybody sees these boots, right?
One would call them galoshes, but yes, those are boots.
You know what? You've got a fair point there.
Do you need a hand? Oh.
No, it's alright. We should, bring the body back to the cave.
Garrett, what do you know about those boots?
Oh, those are some nice galoshes, my friend. That's what we've learned.
Those are, well, they're leather. And they're blue on a...
You see how blue these are there, right?
They are very nice blue boots.
They're very nice blue boots.
Yes.
So,
and he's going to look from the boots, and he's going to look down at your feet and say, not sure they would fit you quite well, though.
Yeah, probably not, but just appreciate good craftsmanship.
Yeah, if they were resized, refit.
I'm sure that
Arcana check on the boots.
Okay. On the boots?
Yeah, do I notice Soren grabbing the book as well?
So I just unfroze it, so whoever, is aware of it can go grab the book, and then I would be refreezing it at this point.
Yeah, he's not doing it stealthily, so you'll be able to
I'm
tell
grabbing the
Dante.
book. I'm grabbing the book.
Okay.
I'll run Arcana on the boots.
And can I run a detect magic or an arcana on the book?
Yep, okay, you can both give me Arcana.
Do you want that number now?
22.
Oh.
22 for Dante, and what was yours, Len-Yan?
10.
10? Well, You can make out that the boots are very nice leather blue boots. And Dante, the book, you are sensing a magical essence coming off of it. You can make out that this is looking at it and checking it out a little bit, you are able to make out that it's a wizard's spellbook. It's a leather-bound spellbook, and when you do go through it, you're able to see that she had prepared in this spellbook Alter Self, Cloud of Daggers, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Expeditious Retreat, I said that right. Scorching Ray. Expeditious, thank you. Shield, Suggestion, and, last but not least, Tensor's Floating Disc.
Can you go from Cloud of Daggers, please?
Comprehend Languages. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Detect Magic.
Okay.
Expeditious Retreat.
Okay.
Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Shield.
Okay.
Suggestion.
Got it.
Tensor's Floating Disc.
Thank you, DM.
Yep. No problem. And Paralou's gonna see you and she's gonna say, Asterix loved her spellbook.
Would you like this back?
She's gonna look at it and she's going to look back at you. I mean, I can't make much use of it myself. Personally, my magics come from my god.
And if I hold on to this.
Yes, I'd much prefer it go to good use and be of help to you all, especially the way you've helped us. I'm sure Asterix would like you to have it.
Very much, and I will make sure no harm comes to it.
After Sliff is listening to this conversation very intently.
Oh, he dropped.
Who dropped?
Dropped?
Milo dropped.
Oh.
I can't hear you on Discord.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay. You said your spells come from your deity.
Yes.
Two questions. One, which deity, if you don't mind me asking?
Yodandala. It's the halfling god of fertility and protection. But apparently I was strong enough in my convictions to protect my friends.
You were separated, that's not your fault. It's not a matter of conviction at that point. You have plenty of strength and willpower within you. I can feel it. That being said, I've got this cut over here. Would you be able to maybe seal it up for me?
Yeah, I can certainly try.
Perfect.
And she's going to walk over, and you're going to see her hesitate a little bit. She's struggling a a little bit with her, everything that just happened. And she's gonna take a deep breath and look up to the sky and look back down at you, and you're going to see this white light start to emanate in her eyes and her hands. And she takes a real deep breath and touches your cut, giving you 11 healing.
Oh, that was magnificent. Thank you.
I guess I do still have connection.
Of course you do. It's always in you. And I'm just gonna pat her shoulder and start dragging the dwarf body. Or pick it up and put it on her shoulders. And fireman carry.
Okay. And you're going to entomb it?
I'd like to bring it back to the cave and return it to its head.
Okay.
Do have axe beaks, please.
Yes, and plus it's getting dark. Perhaps we should take a rest for the night. The cave seems well enough fortified position.
Going to look at Angry Boy.
Have that lantern out. We did not anticipate this attack.
That, I totally forgot about the lantern. My bad.
Didn't. For you guys to like look at it.
If we all going to be spending the night in the cave, maybe we should check that other tunnel list before we get too comfortable.
Of course. It's the only thing that
Excellent
seems like
idea.
the most defensible position. Yeah.
And how does our halfling friend feel about this?
She's going to look around and give one last look at Asterix's body. You again see another teardrop form and turn to ice and fall to the ground. And she's going to say, well, I trust your judgments. You've already saved me once, so I trust you can keep us safe.
Just stay close to me tonight. I'll make sure you're okay.
Okay. And she kind of gets a little bit closer to you and burrows her head a little bit in your wolf cloak.
I'll put my arm around her.
Okay. And we're heading back to the cave.
Yep. Before we go, I'm just gonna. I meant to say this before. Leave a feather like I have in the rest of them.
Okay.
Dipped with the ink.
Alrighty.
I'd like to do something on the walk back to the cave if I can.
Yep. No problem. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna send message to Laughter. So we're walking back down towards the cave.
Okay.
I want to apologize for earlier. Shouldn't have left you like that, and it was wrong with me, and I am sorry.
There's a long pause. Almost as long as you would think that it would possibly go unanswered. Or maybe it didn't go through. And then you hear the voice of Laughter. Just very, very uncertainly. I really am confused. I wish to protect you. I wish to protect all. The concept of murder. Concept of death. As you see
it confounds me. I am trying. I accept your apology. And he's going to look at you and nod his head.
Blaine gives you a sad smile and kind of wipes a little watery in his eye that was popping up. And looks at you and nods back. Won't do it again. Family.
Even if you did, I'm not going anywhere.
Puts his head down. Except the chain smiles again.
As we are going back, I'm keeping up detect thoughts as I prowl.
Okay, you're getting the base thoughts for everybody that's with you. You hear Garrett's thoughts. He's thinking of his love and how worried he must be after how long he's been gone. You're getting the sad thoughts of Paralu as she fights with her convictions and her faith. You're picking up little traces here and there from the rest of your party. Besides that, you're not.
Can I
everything? Yeah.
Can I say to Sacura real quick that at base thoughts he would probably get from her the conflict of seeing that tiefling. But like the conflict of not being sure what to do about it, but not wanting to be disrespectful by any means, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, besides that,
No
you're not really
creatures of sorts?
not nearby. Not that you can pick up. Everything seems pretty quiet and calm right now. You're not hearing the crate cats that you scared away before with a fucking spray bottle.
Hey.
You're not hearing anything that could sound Yeti-ish. Everything is pretty peaceful and quiet, and the lights in the sky just keep dancing and bleeding into themselves. You make it to the...
I was going to ask if you got a glimpse of the thing that made the lights earlier.
This time, nobody was actively looking at the sky when it may have passed by. You were able to just... Because when the lights were starting is when you found the ruined camp with Asterix. And everybody was pretty distracted at that point. So you weren't able to see the thing fly across the sky as you did before.
Pity, we'll have to do it tomorrow. I liked them.
And you make it back to the cave with no problem. And you wanted to check out that other tunnel? Correct, in the cave?
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
Oh wow, I was muted, yes.
Okay, simple enough. You're able to find that it leads to a second entrance. This one is a little bit more hidden in the snow. It's not as much of a rocky face as the main entrance. But it is clear you're not seeing any creatures or enemies or anything in there. or around there. Even with your detect thoughts up, laughter, everything still around that tunnel area seems very quiet.
Then are we camping in the main chamber?
Where you fought the Yetis?
Should we maybe close up the entrance?
Yes, actually, if we take the path to the left, I'll melt the ice, and we can camp on high ground.
I like that idea.
Perfect.
Alrighty. I should probably switch you guys over then to the other map.
Please?
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So you are all going over here.
DM, how high is the ledge?
It's about a 50-foot drop.
50-foot drop. Okay, perfect. So, now would you say if something was climbing, we would generally hear it if we're checking? Because it's high enough, like you would hear, like, I guess we would have to make the checks for that. Okay. So that being said, you know what? Just to be double safe, I'm gonna put a python on each end, and then one in the center, and I'm going to tie my rope around it, just to make a little thing, and as well as put the bell that I have attached to it. So this way, if something does climb up, we don't hear it. It'll hit the rope, and we'll hear the bell.
Okay, simple enough.
And just so everyone knows, if we do have to jump the cliff, just make sure you jump with me.
Well, we have to
I
jump.
have a thing. No, just in case we had to jump, you know, or just never mind.
That's all right. And in the morning, I'll take the body and do the head thing. Put it back together. But for now, it's camp.
Okay, and you melted this ice right here, correct?
Yeah, after everybody's across, I'm gonna melt all that.
Okay.
And as much as I can store, actually, you know what? Before I melt it, I'm gonna eat Ma's house special. So
Okay.
To the container. That'll be my meal. And then I'm gonna make sure I put enough of the water into that container, as well as my water skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Simple enough. You're able to get, you can presume with how you filled it up, when you do reshape it and freeze it into ice, it's not going to be as thick as it was before, like as wide, but you can make a small strip to the other side. Okay?
Perfect.
Alrighty, and did you guys, did you close up the entrances, or are you leaving them open?
Well, what do you all think? I think we're pretty safe here.
I mean, as long as we have a couple people on watch, then we should be okay, hopefully.
They should keep watch at the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, for sure.
You guys can move yourselves around on the map.
I will watch at the stairs first.
You're very difficult to hear, Sacura.
Oh, I was saying I can watch at the stairs first.
I will do that with you, Sacura. Oh, Ember.
Okie dokie. And before I head to the stairs, I will give the halfling a little branch that has some flowers. And just, you'll be safe. I'll be back. I'll come sit next to you even if you're sleeping when I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. You're very kind.
Of course. No problem.
Okay. And Garrett is going to... I actually don't have a token for him right now. Let me get a token up for him. He's gonna be right in here as well. And he's gonna curl up with Boy, his doggo, and get some rest. And you're taking first watch, Sacura. Was there anything anyone wanted to do prior to taking your rest?
I'm gonna go and curl up with Cirrus underneath Cirrus's wing and draw on my journal for a bit, and then I'll take second watch.
Alrighty.
I'll take third watch.
I'll take third watch with Thorin.
Alrighty, noted. Okay, Laughter and Sakura, whichever way you want to swing it. One of you can roll with advantage, or you both can roll perception checks.
Okay. Let me look at that real quick to see what would be smarter.
I have good eyes.
I'll give him advantage.
Alrighty.
I'm not too savvy, but I know he's better.
22.
22. The cave is pretty silent at this point. Besides the sounds of everybody's snores reverberating and echoing off of the icy walls of the caverns. Everything's pretty quiet. You're not, even with your detect thoughts up, it's fairly peaceful around the area. You could guess, especially after venturing this whole mountain climb, this was probably the only Yeti family around here. And they are in a peaceful, dead slumber, encased in ice in the other cavern. But yeah, everything seems safe.
There was a few things Laughter would like to talk to Sacura about. Like as we sit down, as we basically arrange our stuff for the first hour, Kaltazar is behind me, just basically like I'm leaning against him, and as basically I settle down, Laughter's hood just goes back and Blave is sitting back, almost lounging against Kaltazar. Oh, good lord. Ember, was it? Glad we had a chance to talk. I must say, pretty crazy past couple of days we have, haven't we?
It has been. And as she's standing there, like just keeping an eye out and knowing it's safe, she's taking a petal off of her staff and using precipitation to make a little puff of wind and just making it float off to the distance and watching it fall.
Now, excuse me if I must say, if I'm forward, but you seem a bit distracted as of late.
Well, you know, it's a little hard, protecting you guys and then trying to be a good team member, but I really kind of don't like that side of myself, frankly, for reasons.
Sorry, trust me when I say I'm one to know, sides of a personality, and, they're a gift and a curse.
Most definitely that, I can agree. And she's gonna like scratch the back of her head bashfully. Yeah, curse. For sure.
Well, just know that if the burden seems too much to bear, that I can lend an ear. Laughter, on the other hand, is, good at this stuff.
Well, I really do appreciate it. It's been a little bit of a rough one for me, but I'm sure it'll get better. It always has to, I think. At least that's my goal. I just gotta help here, and then if I can fix this, then everything should be okay in the future, I think.
One foot in front of the other. And just know, as far as animals are concerned, we know best.
You seem like someone who's full of a lot of secrets.
Secrets. They're always so funny. It's like one joke that you know, but the punchline that everybody else doesn't. Delectable.
Well, hopefully someday I can figure it out.
Blave's eyes recede back to his own.
But just know, again, we're here. No, don't mean to pry. Bacon.
Well, it's nice to talk a little bit. I've been alone for a while. And I will accept the bacon.
Going to feed some to Kaltasar, and that should be just enough for me to snack my way home tomorrow.
And when I take a bite, it not being sweet confuses Sacura, but she's gonna look at it and be like, wow, this is a lot better than I thought. No wonder you don't put sugar on it.
There's such a thing called candied bacon. There's this type of syrup they produce in a wood somewhere. It's divine.
And this is probably going to be the happiest Sakura's looked in a minute, and she's going to get all giddy. Okay, next mission, we find some.
Oh, make sure somebody remembers.
I will try. And then I will, like, just close my eyes and, like, mentally try to put that in my brain. Must find candied bacon.
So how long were you planning on doing your rest for? Because Laughter only needs to sleep for 4 hours. Did we say who was doing second watch?
Len-Yan is doing second watch. Is that everything you wanted to do during your watch?
It's just chit chat. Honestly, Laughter would stay down there for the second watch because he only needs to sleep half the night.
Hey, Sacura, was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, I'd say before we do that, I would look back and, well, thank you both again. And I'll hand him 2 flowers this time. And
Makes them
walk
grateful.
back up.
And dreams.
Yeah, so you finish up your watch as you start to get a little sleepy, and you go and you gently wake up Len-Yan and let him know to switch watches. And you go, and I'm presuming you're going next to Perlu? Okay, Len-Yan, you are on second watch now with Laughter.
Okay, Sakura, do you want to move your token so I can move mine to where I'm supposed to be at? Or I'll just overlay it. Thank you. Oh, wake up, homebrew item. Wake up and homebrew. You know this at this point.
Yep.
By the time you get down the stairs, it's laughter, not Blade.
So, Sakura, when you go to wake Vlayan up, you see that he is hidden completely underneath of his bedding. He's covered himself with his coats and his cloak and everything completely. You can presume he might just be... Yep, go ahead.
And my bird. I said I was falling asleep kind of underneath Sierra's wing.
Yep, you went underneath of your ex-beak's wing. And Sakura, when you do wake him up, he seems a little bit nervous before he's like, one second. And you see a little flash of light underneath of the wing before Vlayan actually emerges. You're very difficult to hear, Sakura.
Hello? Is this better?
Little bit.
Huh, weird. Let me, maybe I should leave and come back, or is it getting better?
It's good enough for right now. I'd say
okay.
During your rest, you could then leave and come back.
Okay. So I would just tilt my head and look at him as well. For another time, I guess. Laughter is waiting downstairs for you. Or Blade. They're downstairs for you.
Oh, alright.
And then I will go sit... Good night! And I will go sit next to the, halfling Paralu. And, when I do that, I'm going to take my wolf cloak off and cover her, and just sit crisscross applesauce next to her and lean back against the side of the cave. And as I fall asleep, all the blossoms on my staff close.
Okay, and when you do sit down next to her, she kind of squirms a little bit closer in her sleep, almost like she's searching for warmth.
I'll sit close enough to where her head would be on my crisscross lap.
Alrighty, simple enough. Okay. Vlayan, and Laughter. Second watch. Again, you can choose. Each of you can give a perception check, or one of you can with advantage. Your choice.
I'll let Laughter do it with advantage.
Alrighty, go ahead, give me your perception check.
One's cocked. Oh, almost fell. Okay.
19.
19. Alrighty. You hear the winds starting to pick up a little bit, and they start to kind of make their way into the cave a bit. And you hear a distant of an owl. It seems difficult to tell exactly how far it is, with the winds picking up distance, directions. Fairly hard to judge at this point. You can make out there may be a blizzard outside by the sounds of the winds. Everything. And with your detect thoughts up, again, you're not picking up any other creatures within range. Everything, again, besides the howling winds and everything, is fairly quiet still. safe.
Does the sounds of the owl seem distressed in any way?
Give me a, I'd say nature check.
I have to look that up because I think that laughter is pretty good at that shit. Nature. Not bad at all. Oh, that's cocked. 15.
15. You can make out that it doesn't sound distressed from your experience of living outside in forest and the like. It sounded almost like a hunting call.
Okay.
That you've heard owls do before.
Didn't want it stuck in a blizzard, but it seems fine. And Stalwart walks down the stairs. He's going to see, after sitting in an odd position for him, instead of lounging almost like an animal folded in on itself, he is sitting crisscross applesauce, where you could see the almost bone and leather beneath on his chest.
Hey, Laughter. And I go and sit down right next to you.
Greetings. I have been doing a lot of thinking as of late, and must apologize myself.
For what? You didn't do nothing wrong.
I apologize to your ignorance. I have overstepped in many ways, as far as the laws of G-E-To, an obligation. You've spoke of this, yes?
I nod.
I am not a chieftain. Do not know the ways of Ruidian, but I presume to be the most enlightened of the Outworlders. As so, I have made grave oversight.
There's not really a whole lot we can do to change the past. Unfortunately, we can only try to be better in the future.
Precisely. And I wish to right a few wrongs. And I'm going to lead towards you. Named you. For that. He's going to nod his head down in almost a sign of dishonor. I have Toe.
Here, please remind me what toe means, because I literally can't remember right now.
G means honor. Obligation is Toe. I have certain dishonor and obligation towards you. I wish to rest and have it be resolved.
Okay. Okay, your head's bowed down. I'm just gonna kinda like lift your chin up and look into your eyes. It's alright, we all mess up and make mistakes and do stupid things and say stupider things and just can't change the past.
That was not stupid. That was hasty of me to name you as Stalwart. And I'm going to take your hand and place it against your heart. You are resolute as Short, and he cocks his head. The stupid pot, and he's going to literally bristle, was naming the man formerly known as Frigid.
What do you mean?
He has great power. Nor does he seek to rectify said dishonor, defiling one of our plans and being hasty, as Outworlders are prone to be. He is, and he cocks his head, a boy formerly known as Frigid. From now on.
Are you referring to what happened in the cave here earlier?
That. And he looks out at the, basically back where the fight ensued. Did not need to happen.
I mean, thinking back, the cats, and what Soren had said, and then seeing they were doing to Halfling, and the entire time Len-Yan is saying this, he's like super hardcore rubbing his elbow and just kind of looking confused. I hate to say it, but it seems like by killing those three was probably for the best. Because, I mean, look at all of the bodies that they have here of others. And then the tiefling up on the hill, if it wasn't for the Yetis having ambushed them, then those two would still be alive. If it wasn't for us killing them, then that halfling girl would be dead too, and probably Garrett also. It might have actually been for the better to kill them.
Laughter looks at you very oddly. You surprise me every day, Riz.
I'm starting to surprise myself.
Just know that I am proud. Whatever happens. And he jokingly punches you in the shoulder. But since he saw Soren do it to somebody else, he's probably going to actually punch you.
An attack roll.
This is how I die.
Unarmed strike. Sneak attack. No, wait, no.
Fuck. Definitely.
Oh my god.
I mean, I wouldn't be
is
expecting you to actually hit me, technically.
13 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
It hits?
That hits.
You poor squishy sorcerer.
Oh my god. Excuse me.
For 2 points of damage.
You got all that playing?
How much?
2.
You? Okay, I'm unconscious. I'm just kidding.
Boy. Boy. Head up.
I'm just kidding.
Are you not actually unconscious?
No, I'm not actually. I'm good. I'm still alive.
Okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure you have way more than 2 max HP.
You never know with sorcerers, man.
Right?
What a D4 hit die.
To
Fucking
joke
stupid.
around with laughter, though. Just to joke around with laughter, though, Blaine will fall over and pretend to be knocked out for a minute and then pop up and just be like, just kidding.
Good one.
For
All
making
willing
you
good
make
and
death save rolls.
Wait, Rez,
We lose the first player in the campaign. The first
Rez.
character.
As the sound of laughter leveling up.
God.
Hey, at least you don't get sneak die with that, otherwise I probably would be unconscious.
Oh, of course not. I was talking to you. But anyway, but yes, that would be laughter and Blaine's watch. At least as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, Blaine, was there anything else that you would like to do during this time?
No, I'll go back and reassume my position. I'll come bundled up and curled up and in hiding and go finish up my rest. I'm
Okay,
definitely gonna need it now.
And the next was Dante and Soren, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, are the two of you waking them up?
oh, I'm waking up Angry Boy.
Fucking go for it, dude.
Wait, who was he? Who are you waking up?
Dante.
Angry Boy.
As I walk over, I'm going to very subtly detect thoughts. of
Hey.
Angry.
And you can detect dreams, right?
Yes. Anything that's crawling across his mind.
Would Sunshine be able to cancel that out for me?
Oh yeah. You and Sunshine share the same soul, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, you can't detect Dante's thoughts.
Really, I just wanted him to be rudely interrupted in sleep by Laughter's mask.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
with the fact that someone's trying to detect my thoughts, I would wake up.
yeah, I'm pretty sure your flump just cancels it out, like it just doesn't work. Like short circuits. So, Laughter, you start trying to reach into Dante's mind and his dreams, and like the second you catch like Dante's essence, there's like a wall of flames that blocks you. Firewall, one would say.
I'm going to shrink back. Take a moment. Then form my face ever so slightly into that of a baby yeti, almost half deformed, and say, "Ah!" And then turn it back right as I guess he wakes up.
Dante, you wake up to a yeti baby scream. How do you proceed?
Okay. Oh, what? Eldridge! No. Laughter.
Relax, Angry Boy. It's just me, your watch.
Is everything fine?
All's well, but there's a blizzard out there.
Okay, I'll make sure to keep more vigilant. Especially with you and your tricks.
99.
Was Blaine waking up Soren, or?
Yeah, I'll wake up Soren.
Okay.
Gonna walk over and prestidigitation, the song that Soren had played for the Axe Beaks previously when we were in the barn there. Kind of crouched down, not really close to him, but like close enough. Soren, wake up!
I'm gonna like half open an eye and then just fall over.
Good morning. Wait, fall over?
Yeah, just like lay back for a moment, like kind of just like, because I was sitting. I will switch generally between like a sitting position and like a laying position, so I'll like sit up and then just like put my head back on the pillow. All right. I was having a good dream.
It's a blizzard. Sorry.
It's a blizzard.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right now. Dante, I think's heading down.
Perfect. Watch my pillow.
All right. Okay. So Lane's just sitting there looking very confused as you walk away.
Oh yeah, as I walk away, I like immediately as I'm pointing behind me as I say guard the pillow.
I will grab the pillow and put it where he can get to it when he comes back to, but where it's still being guarded. And I'm still in hiding.
No pressure. All the pressure.
There's so much pressure. There's so much pressure. Oh, fuck it. I'll bring the pillow underneath my bird with me. Screw it.
And the two of you are at the edge there taking watch? I think he dropped.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, Milo dropped.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Discord's back on its own. Back on shit again. Yes,
real quick, I will be back in like 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah, no problem. They're on their watch anyway. Yep. Okay. Same way, you can each give a perception, or one can give perception with advantage. Up to you guys.
I'm not very good at perception, so I'll give it to you.
Alright. Thank you. Alright, not so bad. 18.
18. Okay. Alrighty. So, you hear the loud whistling winds as you did before, and then you hear mountain goats, and they sound like they're getting closer, until finally you see a herd of 4 mountain goats run into the cave screaming, followed by you see a very large dark shadow. Peeked in, you see a white feline head peek into the cave, looking like it's stalking the goats. And the goats look around and they run down the other path towards the cavern where the Yetis once were, or still are. And you see one of the very large white felines, the cray cat, chase the goats in, and then you see a second one walk in a little slower, and it starts sniffing the air, and it makes eye contact with you.
I'm gonna maintain that eye contact.
It keeps its eye contact as it walks almost sideways towards where the goats once were.
Yeah, kitty, kitty.
did my...
Shall we leave them be?
You hear the goats start to scream as it sounds like one was pounced on. And then you start to hear the sounds of nails scraping on the side of the ledge. And you hear the nails then slide down, and you hear the scraping again. And again, this time it gets about halfway up and the nails slide down again. And it's quiet for a little bit.
We should not be. I'm gonna set my hunting trap down. Actually, I believe I have 2 of them. So I'm gonna set both of them down at the mouth there. Yeah, so this way if something jumps across, it'll most likely land on that, if it can make it across. Dante with me, and then head over to the ledge.
Right behind you.
As we walk over to the ledge, sorry, I did want to actually try to translate that book of yours, but it might have to wait.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'd rather make sure we're safer. Did I drop?
Nope, you're good.
Are you to
I
know?
was just waiting for the tokens.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
okay.
can see them, right?
Yep.
Okay. And when you do get over there, you see blood sprayed from the goats. You see the goats kind of torn. You can make out that's why they were screaming. And one of the cats is towards the back of the cave, feasting on one, while the other is looking directly up.
Can I perceive that these are the same Cray cats that jumped us?
You can give me an insight check.
Inside check! Oh, that's good. Natural 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, you can make out these are the same cats. You can see some of them have fairly fresh wounds, healed up to the point where you can see these are the same wounds that was given to them by the rest of you.
And with that, can I see if one of them was the first one that got away when Wind got his Cray cat?
You can make out that no, it's not. These are a little bigger than that one was.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is once again going to try to make a climb. And this time, it gets up towards the top of the ledge, and you start to hear the bells start to go off. If everybody who is sleeping can give me a constitution check to see if you wake up.
Okay.
Repeat that.
Are you going down the line or what?
Yes, yes, I will be. Alrighty, Leia.
Ha 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 ha. Guess who got a natural 1? Fuck.
You were really tired, man. That whole getting punched by laughter took so much out of you.
It knocked me the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
I actually am unconscious. Look at that.
Okay. Laughter.
You know, punching the boy really knocked me out. I got a natural 2 to make it a 3.
Okay.
This is where we die.
Okay. Soren.
I'm already awake, so.
Oh yeah, you are already awake. Sacura.
Thank God, a 14.
14. Okay, and yeah, that's right. That's everybody, isn't it? Because Wynn's not here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. God.
So if I saw it get to the top, would I have a moment to react, or?
Yeah. You'd have a moment to react as it's climbing up.
And did I
Okay.
wake up?
Yes, Sakura. You start to hear this kind of beautiful ringing and jingling of these bells. And it's enough to wake you up kind of peacefully until you start to hear the scratching. And you hear Soren say whatever he's about to say to... Yeah?
Well,
I'll do something
I
after
would-
you're done.
I would, as it's climbing up, if I see that it's like actually clawing in and getting up, I would hex it. I would choose a disadvantage on strength checks, but obviously that doesn't include climbing. And then when it gets to the top, I would like go over to where it is, where I see it climbing up. So as it reaches up, I'm going to make a slash at it, and at the same time yell.
Okay.
So like after, I guess that would be after it hits the bells.
Yep. Yeah, because once it hits the bells is when it gets to the top. Yeah, so you
Exactly.
can give me an attack roll.
Sure.
I was gonna send sunshine so it's a little more discreet to wake the rest up when it hit the bells.
Okay.
That
Simple enough.
is 14.
14 to hit. That does hit.
The rest of us be up at this point?
Yes. You will be waking up right as he's making his slashes.
And do I see what he's slashing at in my
So that
daze?
is 4 necrotic damage
Yes, you do.
and 5 slashing.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, at this
Wake
point,
up and
I'm
Nicholas.
going to... Okay. At this point, I'm going to ask everybody to please roll initiative. Everybody is
Yeah, and-
awake at this point.
I was gonna say, like, when everyone wakes up, I am standing in the forefront because I woke up and I've already, because I was gonna protect everyone, I'd say I'm already in, like, primal savagery. Like, I was ready at
Okay.
the top.
Yep, noted. And I will go down the line. Soren? You're muted.
Whoops. That is a 4.
4. Okay. Dante?
Seven.
7. Sakura?
For me, it is a 11.
11. Laughter?
dirty 20.
Okay, Blaine.
17.
17. Okay. Let me get you guys in your initiative places real quick. Get that written down. Alrighty, and I'm just gonna change the music up. Alrighty. Now, first up is... Hold on, I need to turn that down a little bit for myself. Okay, so first up is the other Craig cat that's over in the back there. It's going to... Let's see, what's the distance? Yep, okay. It's going to run 20 feet. And it's going to sit down there and snarl up at the rest of you. That's about all it can do right now with its movement speed. And that's going to be its turn. Laughter, you are up.
I'm currently prone, correct?
Yes, you are.
And this little beastie crawled up basically right on top of me, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's right next to you. The one that Soren attacked.
I do not like that at all. Okay, so, we figured out the spell save, the save DC for my tail, which is 10 plus dex plus proficiency.
Yes.
10 plus dex plus, so I'm going to take a strike at the Craig cat with my tail.
Okay,
My bone.
and you're... Alrighty, and you're gonna try and restrain it?
Correct.
Okay. That's a strength save, correct?
Do I have to roll it to attack first, yes?
Oh, yep.
Okay. And just, for my tail, it's the to hit of a dagger that's inside it?
Yes. It'd be the same to hit as, your dagger.
Alright, so that's a 15.
15 does hit,
Awesome.
and now that will be a strength save. Yes?
That's
Yeah. That is a 18, 19, 20, 21.
So it is not grappled, but it does take 7 piercing damage. And is it currently engaged with Soren?
It is?
Sneak attack!
Okay.
It's an extra 4 damage.
Okay. So, your tail whips at it, and you try and restrain it, and its large muscular shoulders shrug it off, and it looks at you, and whatever noises Grey Cat's That's what my cats made last night when they were fighting. And as you pull your tail back, realizing you're not able to restrain it, you slice it across its shoulder blades and it lets out a roar. And yeah, is that your turn?
Absolutely not. I'm going to see that I can't restrain it and say, "Ah." I'm going to just growl at it and take out a dagger from beneath my gauntlet and just throw it at it.
Okay. Now that would be a ranged attack, so that would be at disadvantage because you are within melee with it.
Oh Christ! I'm sorry, that was more flavor than anything. Then, can I take just a slash with a dagger then?
Yeah.
We'll try to be wary of that for next time. That says to hit. Ooh. 23.
23 does hit.
Okay. This is just regular damage, no sneak attack. Oh, that's another 7.
Nice, okay. 1 second. I have to use a calculator. Alrighty, so you do your thing with your tail, slide the dagger across, the cat roars, it's still standing, you pull a dagger out of your gauntlet in just one swift motion and stab it in its neck, and it starts to bleed out. You see it stagger a little, and it's looking pretty bloodied at this point as it's looking around at you and Storin and everybody else just taking in its surroundings. Is that your turn?
I'm going to look at the boy. Is he conscious?
Yes, he is.
This is all you.
And it is all you, Len-Yan, as it is your turn.
Alright. I'll look at the situation and I'm gonna put my arms out to the side, my sides, and a rock between the weight of 1 to 5 pounds begins to float and hurls right at the cat's face.
Okay, I'm going to...
I'm using catapult.
Okay.
I'm
Alrighty.
using catapult against the cat.
Is that a 2 hit?
It's an instantaneous. It just says choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds. It doesn't say anything about having to roll to hit.
Is there a saving throw?
Dexterity saving throw.
There's a dexterity saving throw. Okay. And it has advantage. $18?
It does pass. He still takes half damage.
No, he does not. The spell has no effect, and I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh! Oh, okay. Okay. I see how this is. Okay. Noted for future. 13.
I've been waiting for you guys to use spells on these guys. 15?
15.
Does 15 pass your save?
Does 15 pass my save? Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay, so you take half damage.
Oh, wonderful. Alright. With my own dice?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry, but that's fucked.
6.
It's the coolest ability these Craig cats have.
That is actually really cool. I am here for it. So, the total was 10, so I take 5.
Okay, add that in.
Need a nap after this shit.
This
Between laughter trying to kill me and this damn cat.
So laughter calls you to arms, and you stand up and you get this catapult ready, and you fling it at the cat, and the cat dodges out of the way just in time. And you see this glimmer in its eyes as its eyes just light up yellow for a second, and the catapult instead turns and comes back at you. Is that your turn?
Don't trust your own magic! Don't trust your own magic! As I get slapped in the face and probably fall to the ground. Ow.
That's your turn?
As a bonus action, can I load my crossbow?
Yeah,
I know
sure.
it's a bonus action to load your crossbow if you don't have crossbow expert.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that as my bonus action.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. And yep. That's gonna be good.
So you see Vlayan get whacked in the face with his own rock, and he just pulls out his crossbow and loads it up real quick, primed and ready. Now this Craig Cat who you just hit, he's gonna look at you, Laughter. He did not like getting slashed, and he is going to
Bring it, Kitty.
He's going to make a bite at you. For oh my fucking god! Look at this. A nat 20.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, he brought it, Kitty.
No.
Oh god! I'm sorry, guys. My dice are rolling pretty decent for the most part tonight.
Oh no.
Okay. Soren is my witness. Oh shit. Alrighty. That's... So... The damage is 10. Double that to 20. So the full damage is...
Unconscious.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah, 20 piercing damage, in case you have resistance to piercing or anything. Okay. Noted. So the cat turns at you and bites your arm, and its force just crushes you, and you fall to the ground, and it drops you out of its mouth. It turns and looks at you, Vlayan. It's got your friend's blood dripping from its mouth as it makes eyes on you. And that's
Lock
its turn.
eyes with it.
Sacura,
I lock eyes with it. Pissed the fuck off.
you're up, Sacura.
Okay. I am going to, so if someone is unconscious, could I tilt their head to make them swallow?
Yeah. You're trying to feed him a potion?
I am going to use good berries, and I'm going to summon 10 berries into my hand,
Okay.
and I will mash them into my hand a bit, and cut my hand to Laughter's mouth, and pour the berries into his mouth, and he gets 1 HP per berry, so he gets 10 HP.
Okay, Laughter, as you're laying there bleeding, Sakura, if you could move yourself to... Oh, okay, you already did.
I was going to say, I was kind of close. It was kind of hard to put myself closer.
Yeah, go ahead. I moved Paraloo back, so you can adjust yourself if you need to.
There we go. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so Laughter, you fall unconscious, then everything goes black for a second, and then you start to see the Laughter in front of you, and it lets out a this isn't it for you. And you get this sweet taste in your mouth, and you take a gasp of air as you come back.
As I do, Ember, I'm sorry to say there is a blade hovering right in front of your face because you touched Laughter's mask. And I realize that you did so. It retracts back, and I grab your shoulder and say, "I'm so sorry. Thank you."
It's okay, and don't worry about it. And I'll can I use my bonus action to help him stand up, or would that take an action?
And healing, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
10
10
healing.
healing.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay, so I'll put his arm over my shoulder and help him stand up.
Okay. Simple enough. Is that your turn?
And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Dante.
DM question.
Yes. DM and
Yeah.
Sir Dante.
Did I ever actually hit with Eldritch Blast before?
I'm not sure.
Because I know when I first did Eldritch Blast, I missed because that was the debut of my Eldritch Blast. And then I held that action in our second encounter with the smaller one, and I don't remember if I hit or not when I held my action when it was coming at me.
I don't remember. Unfortunately, that's not something I keep in my notes. I don't keep track of your Eldritch Blasts. I really
No,
should, honestly. They're really cool.
Well, I was just I was just asking in sense of like because the spells aren't working, so Eldritch. If I were to hit, it would negate it, and I'd be hit with my Eldritch Blast. Correct?
I'm pretty sure they have been hit with spells before that haven't turned, but you're not quite sure how it works with magic and with them. They have been hit by certain spells, they have not been hit by other spells, so it can be... It's hard to gauge at this point without a check.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to open my book, and just because it's not a magic book, I just like reading the wood off. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at the one everybody's fighting.
Okay, the one that's up there?
Yep.
Alrighty, give me an attack roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 does hit. Go ahead and give me damage.
On a hit, the target takes 1d10 force damage. That is 7 damage. Force damage.
So put 7 damage into you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Alrighty. So it actually had exactly 7 hit points left. So you shoot off your Eldritch Blast, and you don't see this one turn the same way the catapult did. And you hit this cat with this extreme force, and it falls off the ledge, lands on the ground, and it lets out one last whatever noise cats make. I'm sorry. Oh god, I woke up the tiny cat. I don't know, as it falls to the ground, and you hear its spine crack right next to the other one. Is that your turn?
So with that, you just, cause the way Dante shoots his Eldritch Blast, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho, Spirit Gun, like that. And so he kind of like brings his finger back and like kind of blows out the fake smoke that's not coming from his finger. And that's his turn.
Alrighty, Soren.
Okay. That one's dead. The other one's just standing there at the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna move. This is drop to 0. I'm gonna move it as a bonus action. Move the hex over to that one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna jump off the ledge.
Jumping off the ledge.
At it. Yep.
At it. Okay. Are you trying to land on it?
Yes, I am. With my sword out. Or,
okay.
Actually, I'd like to, as I'm going towards it, I'd like to Eldritch Blast down. So like, the blast, maybe like use since it's a wind pressure, kind of push me back a little bit at the same time. Catch myself.
Okay, so you're shooting the Eldritch Blast at the cat as you're jumping down.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Give me a... I'd say for this, give me your attack roll for Eldritch Blast is the first dice roll you're gonna make. Let's see if that hits.
Okay. 17? I'm sorry. Yeah, 17.
17 does hit.
Okay.
You can give me the damage real quick.
6 necrotic and 1 point of Eldritch Blast. Which is force.
Yep. Okay. So that does hit. Next, let's see. I'd say give me an acrobatics check to see if you can line yourself up with the cat correctly as you're going down.
DM, real quick. If I see that he's gonna hit the ground hard, I would cast Featherfall on him.
As your reaction?
As my reaction, if I see that what he's doing, and if it doesn't work and he's gonna smack into the fucking ground because it's a 50-foot drop, ouch, I would use Featherfall.
Okay, well, let's see what happens with him first, and if it does go bad, I will keep that in mind. What was your acrobatics?
16.
16. Okay, so you are able to line yourself up with the cat. Next is a dexterity saving throw to see how hard you hit the cat as you fall.
Okay. Ooh. 22.
22.
So 19 plus 3.
Okay, so you are able to land so gracefully on this cat, but the force from you falling, like the cat's body catches your weight, and the force of you falling, the cat is now going to take your fall damage.
I concurs. Very, very nicely done.
Thank you, thank you.
Did you just kill a cat by jumping off a cliff?
No, he did not.
I would say he severely wounded a cat by jumping off a cliff.
Would that count as me dealing damage to it by landing on it?
Yeah.
I take the non-extra 1d6 necrotic! For 2?
2. Okay. Okay. So you land on this cat and you hear its back kind of crack a little bit, and it lets out a sound cats make besides. Oh, sure, yeah, we'll go with that. As you land on its back, and it does not look happy. And it's actually its turn right now, if you're done with your turn. You are?
Yeah, I just wanted to describe a little bit. So, I'm like jump off the cliff and do like a quick little backflip, wink at Dante, and you watch my eyes go black and then like a frost glaze, like literally just iced over, and my hands go icy. Eldritch Blast, and dive down, and you just see me disappear.
A golf
And you
clap.
hear the cat.
A golf clap. Yes, Eldritch Blast, my friend.
Did I drop?
Okay, I think you dropped.
I have been muted. I've been sitting here, I've been talking, and I've been muted. Okay, so dex save. Cat's gonna do a strength check with disadvantage because it's hexed.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. I got a 14. Yeah, 14.
Yeah, man. It got a 9. So you can't get it off. It's going to still try and take a bite at you, but I'm gonna do disadvantage because it's gonna be very hard for it to reach you on its back. Okay, so the first one is a 21. The second, oh, you got so lucky, is an 8, which I don't believe hits.
It just barely misses, DM. Just so close. You just missed the mark.
Yeah. Alrighty. Laughter. It's your turn.
I'd like to envision as Ember is leading Laughter away. You know how people just like duck under their arms and just go the opposite way? I'm walking this way with Sacura as Laughter. I turn the other as Blave with his bow drawn over the edge, and I fire down at the cat.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Oh, it's a natural 18. Plus.
It definitely hits.
I just want to know. For my own idiom. 23. Thank you.
23?
As...
Just misses. No, I'm kidding. You can go ahead and give me damage with your sneak attack because it is in melee with Soren.
Oi, Captain. That is 5 from the bow of piercing damage. Plus, ooh, that's a 1 plus my proficiency of 3 plus equal a total of 8.
So you see this cat down there bucking, but it's almost bucking in a limp. As weird as that sounds, you could tell it's straining itself to try and buck this freaking elf off of its back. And you just turn and shoot down, and just straight sharpshooter arrow to the freaking face, and this cat stumbles for a second and then drops to the ground. Soren, you are perched atop a dead Crag cat.
Anybody ever have cat meat before?
Blave's gonna be out of breath. Then sit down on the ledge. I don't know, but I'm in the mood for jerky.
Let's make some cat jerky.
I don't have jerky, but I'm gonna go up to Blave and use Good Berry one more time and offer Blave the berries. Just helped you last time.
Oh, thank you so much, Sacura. Oh, love it.
And then, just so you know, the berries also sustain you for a whole day.
What does that mean?
Like they're filling, so you won't be hungry.
Good one.
They really do that, though.
Oh, we'll test them out, won't we?
So, DM, I'd like to start skinning the cats. And,
Okay. I'd say for that, give me a survival to see how clean of a pelt you make.
Sure.
And
Blave is gleefully drumming his heels on the ledge above.
I'm gonna.
That'll be in.
Can I?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to send Sunshine down to Soren real quick.
Okay. And what was your survival?
18.
18. It's like you've been doing this your whole life. Oh wait,
Oh,
you have.
372 years of it.
Yeah. And you get a very nice, clean pelt pulled off of this cat. Dante, you were sent. I heard you playing. Dante, you were sending Sunshine down.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna send Sunshine down to Soren, and through Sunshine, I'm going to say, don't forget, we're kind of stuck up here. I don't know if all of us can make the jump.
Oh, no, it's alright. I'm just gathering the meat and the bones, making it easy to climb. And don't worry, I'll make a bridge across again.
Thank you.
I've already thought of it. Yep, for sure.
Good peace.
And then I'll give Sunshine free roam around Soren.
Yes, laughter.
What you gonna do with the pelt that angry boy killed? Laughter's got something for him.
Alright. Yeah, it's for sure. I figured bring it up. You can have it. Use it as a trophy, as a, I don't know, make a pelt. Whatever you've got, that's fine. I'm taking the bones, so. Bones and meat for everyone. We're having a feast.
Yes, much to celebrate.
Alrighty. So simple enough. You get the belt and the meat and everything. And are you making your... Let me watch my wording. Are you going back around to... Yep. Damn it! I got so close.
DM,
Are you,
I wanted to do something.
Yes, what would you like to do?
I was gonna give a perception check in the main room and then actually walk down the hall and listen to see if I could hear any more activity, because there was a lot of yowling that was going on and it might have attracted more predators.
Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. That is a natural 18. Dirty 20.
Alrighty. So, you're looking around. It seems that the blizzard has started to subside a little bit. The winds aren't quite as loud as they were previously, because he's sleeping. No, I'm kidding. JK, LOL. But besides that, you're not really hearing anything that could be possibly threatening at this point. Things do seem fairly safe. I will keep in mind if you are doing active perception.
Yeah, I'd still
Staying
continue
watch.
to keep an eye down that way.
Yep, no problem. And, yeah, so Soren, you're going back around and making your ice bridge?
Yep. While I walk around, I'd actually like to collect the other dwarf's head.
Okay.
Figure
Simple
might as-
enough.
And yeah, make the ice bridge, bringing everything over, and then melt it again and put it in the container.
Okay. Simple enough, and yeah, and you and Dante were on watch. Are you continuing your watch at this point? While everybody else finishes their rest?
Yeah, so everybody can get back to the full, for sure.
It is about